welcome to another edition of the Sports Edition, presented by Upper Level Productions. It's your boy Fabito, along with your man, Black Obi-Wan and Hype Man OB. We are set for the conference finals for the first time in 29 years. The Western Conference Finals will not be in the following states: Texas and California. So screw you, mofos.
Yeah, I'm supported.
Now, with Minnesota and OKC facing off against each other tonight, as we recording this episode. So again, we're going to be a little game behind when this episode drops. Guys, how do we see this series going? Matt?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough series. I think Ant-Man and Julius Randle are going to have to play at above a level, just because OKC is just they have so many bodies. There's so many wings, so many 3-and-D guys. It's like, you can't, when it comes to these guys in the playoffs, you can't stop a guy like Ant-Man from getting his points, but you can slow him down. Instead of maybe him getting 35 tonight, maybe he gets 30, and maybe that him getting 30 is the difference between you winning the game by 2 points. So, I want to see Ant-Man just because I want to see Ant-Man. I love his charisma and style. I like the way he plays over the last couple games, but I do see OKC in 6. I would say that. That's not my final prediction. As of it stands right now, it could change after the game 1. I may be like, all right, no,
can't do that.
After what? But no, after as of right now, like with my prediction of what I've seen, I'm gonna say OKC in 6. But then if I see, all right, clearly like OKC, they're here and they're dropping the ball, then it's like I might change it. But right now, I think OKC just proved themselves with beating the Denver Nuggets. Like you just proved like all that talk, like you proved yourself. Like everybody said you might get bounced second round, and the second round you face a team like the Denver Nuggets, albeit on Aaron Gordon is not 100%, but that's still a tough team nonetheless, and you showed it, and now you're in the conference final. So OKC.
Hey.
This is a tough one for me because I do have personal interest with Minnesota more with Anthony Edwards winning the whole thing, but then I always been saying that. Where's the beat the mic?
You good. It's in your beard.
But I always been saying that. What's the name? That for the whole season that Oklahoma has been that number 1 Western Conference team. I remember I was saying that it was Oklahoma and then everybody else in the West. That being said, because of matchup problems, I am going with Minnesota. Because I think if there's one person Minnesota don't have an answer for, I'm not saying they have an answer for Anthony Edwards, but I just think that matchup-wise, I think they're going to have an issue with Julius Randle. Because as much as Oklahoma plays that great defense, and they're going to play good defense. But look at their body mass compared to people like to Nas Reed.
They're lanky.
They're lanky. So I think that when you say Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle have to play above, I think it's more Oklahoma as a team have to play above because of the body size that's coming now. Minnesota's coming off a long rest. That being said, game 1 I think will be tough for Minnesota tonight because Oklahoma is just finished playing Denver. They're a team that averaged 22, 23 years old. So I don't think that game 7 effect will bother them. But I just think that Minnesota will have a hard time winning tonight Tuesday night when we had the show because of Minnesota's rest. But long run, I am going to go with Minnesota in 7.
So I'm gonna hit you guys with something. I think Minnesota's going to lose the first game, and for the sole purposes of rust. I also think Rudy Gobert will be more of a wild card than Julius Randle and Ant-Man.
You think so?
The reason why is because he's going to control the rebound. He's going to control the glass. If he doesn't, then OKC is going to hit. He's going to really
I was going to say...
I think they're going to... And honestly, I think Rudy Gobert needs to do something extra with the offense as well. He needs to step his offensive game.
I think that OKC plays a lot of big lineups, and Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein may be an issue for Rudy Gobert on the glass. Like you got, you know what I'm saying? Like it's that's why I didn't know. Like I was thinking that too, but then I was like, you got Chet in. Yeah, that's kind of tough. You know.
So
what I'm
when
saying?
you said that, I was like, do you not know the bigs?
Speaking to Hype Man's point, right? But Isaiah Hartenstein and Chetman, they're lanky, but they still grab boards. So Rudy Gobert.
To me, I feel like they're try-harders. You know what I'm saying? They're try-harders, and so they're going to go the extra. They're going to go the above and beyond.
I mean,
Rudy Gobert should lock at least one side of it. Julius Randle.
Oklahoma got 2.
I feel that they're going to hold Julius Randle down. I think Hartenstein played with them, and pretty much can give the blueprint because he's normally an isolation player. And I think if they force Julius Randle into an isolation player, back to an isolation player.
Okay, I agree with you because I heard that today that if you make him a New York Knick, Julius Randle, then you have a chance to win. But that's not the Julius
Randle. You're not seeing that
playing.
this year. I give his credit. I give
that's
him
why I'm not going to put that title on him.
The defense that OKC can force him into that kind of role, which scares me. That's why I say Rudy Gobert needs to be that third person, that third superstar on this team to make an impact. I think. But I do see Minnesota in 6.
I think Julius is too strong for anybody. But we'll see. I mean, let's see what the schemes they throw. But I just think that the only
big body I'm thinking is Dort. But then if you got throw him on Dort, then there's nobody for Edwards. So it's like you gotta.
I mean, Caruso. You got Caruso today. But
Caruso, you know what I'm saying? You can't play Dort and Caruso at the same time. It's got to be one or the other.
These guys are big, so
you can't play both.
I think it's matchup wise. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, let us know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. You already know the deal. Hit that notification bell for when you know the next video is coming up. And in the East, a rivalry is reborn for the first time in 25 years. The New York Knicks make it past the second round and facing the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year.
I was about to say it was rivalry last year. and they were in, just to let you know, I don't know if you've seen the video, but even WWE knows about Indiana Pacers and the Knicks because last year in June, they had Jalen Brunson and Halliburton come out for a WWE event at Madison Square Garden. So this rivalry's been going since last year. So go ahead, continue. What's the question?
Take you to finish up the lead.
Look, I just want the Knicks to win because for my cousin Chubbs, but this is not going to be easy. This is not something I'm not going to just sit there as, I'm not a Knicks fan, I live in New York, but like I said, I'm rooting for them. I'm not just going to sit here and just walk over the Indiana Pacers. All right, so, which part of Pascal Siakam is going to show up? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to show up this series? Let's see what happens.
So what if Miles Turner shows up? What if Miles Turner shows up?
Miles Turner only. So we'll see what happens because Knicks, Indiana Pacers are a real good team. I'm not going to sleep with them. So I'm going to root for the Knicks. The Knicks are playing with that grit. As long as they keep playing with that energy, and who I think will be the key factor for the Knicks is obviously if Mikal Bridges do what he does from last series. I think Knicks could come out. Some people got the Knicks coming out in 5. But I ain't going to be disrespecting the Indiana Pacers. I'm going to give the Indiana Pacers 2 games, so I'm going to say the Knicks in 6. But it's not going to be easy.
I also agree. I agree Knicks in 6. I agree because 2 points. Health, Karl Anthony Towns. Actually, 2 points. Health, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mikal Bridges. Right? They did not there last year. The Knicks had a health issue because I think Anobi was injured. Jalen Brunson was injured. Hartenstein was injured. That ain't happening this year. Plays the gods. Knicks in 6 because the Knicks, I want to make this right here. The Knicks didn't get lucky. The Knicks didn't the Celtics were injured. No. The Knicks beat the Celtics right and square. They were up 20 points in almost 3 games and failed 20 points each game. That is who the Celtics were. We said it early on the podcast. Celtics shoot themselves out in the game. We said that early on in the season. And they've proved themselves to do that multiple times. The Knicks are a team that deserve to be here. They can beat anybody. And if they can beat the Pacers, they can beat the Celtics, they can take the whole thing.
The Knicks are on a run.
They're on a run.
From what they've been in the 3rd place team and then losing to all these teams in the season, they came out the gates in the playoff hot.
I think the Knicks. Now, I'm going to be hated right now. And this is only for the pure. I don't want to kibosh my team. I'm picking the Pacers in 7. Why? For all the reasons Hype Man just said. I think all in all, the teams really are even. They're pretty even. They both have 2 point guards that can light it up in the 4th quarter and take over the game.
I'll burn.
They both have supporting cast that can do their parts. And
Nemhard and Josh. Oh, wow.
So they're pretty even. So so now you have to look, where's the uneven come from? And then that's coaching. And I do think Carlisle is a way better coach when it comes to making adjustments and bringing on that toughness. And 2, it all really depends on how the refs call this game. Because last year, you know why Indiana lost? Yes, the Knicks was unhealthy. Knicks was going in without OG. But you know really why they were losing? The Pacers won? It's because the refs called every ticky-tack foul on you Pacers. and the Knicks were getting beat the up.
Mhm.
I remember that because I was at the same location in this same studio watching that game.
Rivalry last year. That's what I'm saying.
Getting tight. The refs were not calling it down the line. And I get it. You know, but and again, I'm just saying it mostly because I don't want to kibosh the team. Because if I pick the Knicks, watch, they lose. So again,
you didn't pick the Knicks last year.
Wait,
you didn't pick the Knicks in that series? Did you pick the Knicks first series? Serious? Oh, so you
if
just
you guys didn't notice, I didn't make any picks.
True. Now that I actually,
I didn't make any picks.
But I've been
a tradition.
But I've been a prophet because I was the one that before the playoffs started said the Knicks was going to win.
Did I say anything?
And everybody was like, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people were like,
I'm on that bandwagon.
No way.
I'm on that bandwagon.
He was like, no way. I was like, all right, look.
I was like, hey. But again, let us know what you guys think. When we have this episode, literally pretty much another half hour, the Knicks game is going to start. So like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys think. Now, moving to the NFL, a few things happen because, you know, the NFL year is always all year. The 49ers have given extensions to Brock Purdy, George Kittle, and Fred Warner. Do the 49ers have enough to be a force in the NFC West?
Yes, because they got a hell of a great coach. They've been consistent. Last year, injuries piled up on them. So
Debo was playing very inconsistent last year. They got rid of Debo.
So let's see what kind of system get implemented this year. But I'm not going to just wipe them out because now they still got a system in there because of the coach. So I'm going to say, well, in the division they got the Rams. Let's see how the Cardinals. Who else in that division? You got the Cardinals, the Rams, the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. So let's see how the Seahawks play with Sam Darnold, right? Because now we're going to see a Sam Darnold outside of Minnesota. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the division, besides the conference, I think they're going to be one of the top 8 teams in the conference. So I'm going to say yes because of Kyle Shanahan.
I'll say this for some George Kittle, Brock Purdy. Some re-signing good offensive guys, and then thinking of the landscape of, as we said, their conference is like you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not much there.
We'll see.
They have to really struggle with.
Yeah, we'll see. But that's what it is because we'll see.
Yeah.
We don't know how it is.
But if the same 49ers are coming, if the 49ers with a little bit more consistency are going to show up, then yeah, it'll be a force.
It may not be that powerhouse that we got used to, but if you're asking me, they're going to be in the mix in the 8 teams in the NFL playoffs. Besides, I guess they're going to vote on the new thing they're going to do. I still think, they're the top 8 teams in the conference.
All right. So when this episode airs, we might have to say goodbye to the tush push, as recent reports suggest that more teams are leaning towards abandonment, as Green Bay has trying to change the narrative and the wording, which kind of just doesn't take away the tush push from my understanding. Like, if an offensive player, like a running back, is trying to get the extra yards, an offensive player cannot no longer push that running back anymore, or the ball carrier anymore to get the extra yards or pull. What is our thoughts on that, Matt? Black Obi-Wan?
I mean, I don't know because it's like I felt like only one team did it last year, maybe 2. It was like the Bills and the Eagles, and they barely. You know what I'm saying?
So you should ban it or not ban it?
No, I mean it's like, what do we like? Not. I don't think they really should because I don't really think it was. You know what I'm saying? If it was like an epidemic, like, it's 7 teams using it, and it's been like, but it's like 2 teams using it, and they didn't get it all the time. It was like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is very weird.
I mean, isn't it quarterback sneak almost like a tush push? So are we eliminating quarterback sneaks? No, I mean, I know, but the play is just almost the same.
It is.
Because has anybody? I mean, quarterback sneaks have been stoppable. So has the tush push. There's been, I've seen 1 or 2 times. So just coach. I would say no, don't ban it because just coach it up. Coach on the defensive side, coach it up. And if you can stop it, you can stop it.
The Eagles and the Bills did it simply because they had the offensive line to do it.
I mean, you know
what I'm saying? Like, everybody's going to have an offensive line to do the tush push.
See, my thing is like the way Green Bay changed the wording on it. It's now that even if it's not even if it's a tush push, if it's just like a running back like Saquon and is trying to get the extra yards and his offensive line is right behind him, and he just pushes them more because you got 2 defenders. One defender is trying to smack the ball out of his hand, and the other defender is trying to tackle him.
Okay.
Because of that, because of the way they're overwording it, I mean, yes, the touch push will be banned, but that will be banned as well as the offensive player pushing it.
I just think you open up Pandora's box.
And that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I think that.
That's why I asked about the quarterback sneak. Isn't the quarterback sneak? I mean, I understand quarterback sneak is used no more like to get the touchdown, but what if a quarterback sneak for the first down? Like, what's the difference between that and the tush push doing it at the first down or everything? I mean, I just think it opens Pandora's box because if you because I'll be petty. Oh, so you wanna ban my tush push? All right, so if I see something on like, I'm gonna put in a report for it and say I want that banned as well. Oh no, I don't want the that should be banned. I don't want quarterback sneak. That's like rugby. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that opens up Pandora's box. So I say just coach it up, be man up, coach it up. I just think they're using different wordings around just to get around just to ban it. Period.
Yeah, that's what I think is because they did that. It's making it worse.
Besides the Eagles and the Bills, you're a hater. Yeah, that's hating. That's hating right there. That's a definition of hating.
Only teams that did, and I feel like if you had an offensive line, you would do it. But it's like two teams in the NFL team did it because they had the lines to do it.
I mean, if I have Lamar Jackson, I'm running a quarterback sneak sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Because I have Lamar Jackson. Would I do that with Stafford? Maybe not because he's not a running quarterback. I definitely won't do it with Brady, but Brady would do it because he's competitive. But if I have somebody like Justin Field and like, oh, quarterback sneak, you gonna ban me doing that now?
Interesting questions. We shall decide. The New York Yankees won the Subway Series, beating the Mets 2 out of 3 games, with Sunday Night Baseball getting the highest rating since 2018 with a 2.9 rating.
That's crazy.
Where the average is usually 1.2 to 1.3. To me, that was not really the story. Looking at Juan Soto this past weekend, does Soto has remorse in signing with the Mets?
I'm going to be messed up saying this because I'm a Yankee fan. But y'all sound like a bunch of bitter ex-boyfriends. Like, let me get this straight to you. I'm going to tell you Yankees straight up. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Was he traded to the Yankees? Or did he sign with the Yankees last year?
He was traded to the Yankees.
Okay, so 1 year. He only got a 1 year deal left because he was traded, right? So it's not like this guy is like, I would understand if it was Aaron Judge to a Derek Jeter that you bring up in the farm, you stay with us for a while, and then he bounces to like the Red Sox or something. Then you could sit there and create all these narratives. But right now, the dude was never a Yankee. He just played with the Yankees 1 year because he was traded. So, I mean, it's not like he asked to be a Yankee. Two is like, bro, if in baseball is about getting the most money. So he wins because he went with the most money. He just happened to be with the Mets. So I just think that the media and the Yankee fans need to just move on, bro. Move on. Like we have right now, we winning, we beat them 2-3. But yet the story is he looks depressed. Like F him being depressed. He's on the Mets. Let the Mets deal with that. We the Yankees. Let's focus on winning a championship. Right now we feel like I sound like since the season started. Oh, matter of fact, since he signed with the Mets, y'all sound like bitter ex-boyfriends. Yo, just move on, bro. Who cares? But that's just me. I know Thurman might say something after that.
I'll speak to the ratings part being the highest because that was actually the first time I watched the baseball game in my crib the entire time. So that was true. I also did have a parlay on it, so I did have it. So I had to watch it. But yeah, no, it was interesting because I think he was supposed to be the mic'd up, and I was hyped because I was okay. I want to hear because I know they're gonna ask me. So well, how's it been? You know? And he was like, nah, he declined. I was like,
but did you hear why though?
I could care less why because I know it's being like you're being you know that's what you just said. You're being bitter. It's like yo, just
he said because he's tired of the questions about Aaron Judge. So that's why I said when you say I don't care, that goes it goes
what
back.
Do you expect?
But you make my point. But go ahead.
What did you expect? You just left the Yankees. You left the Yankees. People are going to ask you about why you left the Yankees. They're going to ask you about Aaron Judge. It comes with the territory. It's taken already. I left because I'm not really a Yankee, as you just said. I was only traded here. I never had no intentions of really being here a long time. Poof, done. But instead of this wearing it all out for suspicion, it's like, we all know why you did. You know what I'm saying? So who the first, if Cody Bellinger left, did you leave because of Aaron Judge? Like, that would be the first reason people ask. It doesn't matter. Like, it's the Yankees. So it's like, you know what the question is going to be. You knew this beforehand. They've been asking you since you left the Yankees.
It's the end of May, bro.
And then they've been asking you since you left the Yankees. So you know the questions they're going to ask. Stop being a bee about it.
I would understand that. But now it's the end of May, bro. Like, how long y'all going to continue with the narrative?
Until you answer the question.
But he answered it 1,000 times. That's what you're not understanding. So you get tired of asked the same question by the end of May, man. So y'all make my point. Y'all sound like bitter ex-boyfriends. Make my point.
So, has there been a little bit over obsession about Soto going over the Mets? Yeah, I would agree.
Thank you.
I agree.
A huge
Is
obsession.
this something that was not expected? No. One, because the amount of love that they gave to Juan Soto to try to convince him to stay, the fans felt like they were betrayed. So I get that aspect. Now, fans are fans. Fans are fandoms.
I got a great example. Go ahead.
Fans are fandoms, and fandoms, they don't think rational. Like, that, everybody has to understand that. Like, as a Yankee fan, I don't think rational half the time. But at the same time, Juan Soto, you chose your team. You obviously went for more money, which nobody's knocking you.
The Mets roll for the one.
You should get your bag. You got your bag. Now you just got to deal with it. Now, from what I'm hearing about the buyer's remorse, according to one report, I listened to Michael K. Radio show, and they were talking about a report saying that it was really the mother that was really influencing the decision. But however, at the end of the day, you're still a grown-ass man, so you still got to take accountable that you're a Met. So at the end of the day, one, this is what I really got to say. Wake up. Met fans, he is batting 260 to 280 on a bad year. Most bad players on a bad year are batting 200. He's going to turn it around. Give him time. Now, as far as Yankees Mets, like I said, as a Yankee fan, I'm going to root for my Yankees. I'll root for the Mets because they're a New York team, but until you played against the Yankees, you're fucking scum to me. So, that being said, was everything right? You had a right to boo. Boo him. You paid that money to go see a game. Boo him. I like the really tactic that they did. They turned his back on him on the first inning. That was great. It was symbology.
I'm going to boo everybody that's not in a Yankee uniform, no matter what.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's not
symbology.
the point.
It was symbology. You know what I'm saying? You turn your back on the guy who turned your back on them. Because, again, the amount of love that they gave him all last year, trying to convince him as part of the media ploy or part of the ploy to keep him to stay, Yankee fans feel hurt about that. You can't knock that.
Let me give you a what if scenario. This is in the NBA right now. This may happen. Somebody gets traded in the season. They didn't ask to get traded. He didn't ask to be a Laker, right? So here we go. Okay, so let me give you a what if scenario.
But what if Soto did wanted to trade though?
But he did get traded. He got traded. I'm giving the same example. He got traded to the Yankees. Yeah. Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers. Now, what if, because they still have to sign him, what if he decides to go somewhere else? Do Laker fans have the right to bash him?
Yeah, why not?
Oh my God.
Why not? Because you had the all intentions of thinking that this guy, you traded for this guy to stay.
He never asked to be traded. He didn't ask to be a Laker.
That comes with it. Like, you're going to get that hate. You're going to become the villain. Like in Cleveland. Or LeBron, when he left Cleveland. But that's the point. That's the point that's being made right now.
No, because
once the minute he left, he became a pariah to Cleveland.
I totally disagree. Because
he was not a pariah. When he came back, he was not booed off that roof.
I would love to answer your question. The difference between Cleveland Brown and Luka Doncic, I said Cleveland Brown. LeBron James and Luka Doncic is LeBron James didn't ask to get traded to Cleveland. He was drafted by Cleveland. He played 7 to 8 years with Cleveland before he decided to leave. That's when you, as fans, you could boo the guy because he betrayed you. But a guy who just got traded to a team that he never asked to get traded for, and then after a year later goes somewhere else, and you guys are mad about that, I'm sorry. Y'all sound like bitter ex-boyfriend. Like, that was the hot girl that got away. But she never asked to be here. So that's why I'm like, so y'all going to bash Luka? When Luka didn't ask to be a Laker, And if he decides to go, what if he decides to go back to Dallas? I mean, what if he decides to go somewhere else? Then what? Y'all gonna talk down on him? I mean, that makes no sense to me. That's just me because I would understand if it was like Kobe Bryant, you drafted, and then he asked for a trade and then he leaves. That's when you could curse him out. I'd understand if it was Dirk Nowitzki who got traded, who's drafted and then demanded a trade to give up. That's when you. But somebody who came to a team for 1 year, he was never in your farm system. He was never somebody you went and just signed the free agency. He was just somebody you rented. And y'all mad that he went to choose somewhere else? Sorry, I don't think Soto's the issue. I think New York fans and the New York media has an obsession with Juan Soto leaving to the Mets. All right. It could have been the Dodgers. It could have been the Dodgers.
For the sake of time, we gotta agree to disagree on this one. Now for our next segment, Hype Man.
Oh, welcome to another edition of Hype Man's Trivia. All right, guys, welcome to another edition of Hype Man's Trivia. I got some real tough 4 questions to ask. He's got 3 tough questions to ask you guys, 2 NFLs, 1 NBA. I think you guys will like this one because I put a lot of effort to find some hard ones. All right, guys, question number 1. Name the only 4 NFL teams that wear the green jerseys.
The Jets,
Eagles,
the Green Bay Packers.
I think the last one everybody was thinking of that one. So I like how you guys. Seahawks is the final answer.
Is that blue?
Lime green.
Oh, lime green.
To the NBA. I think this was a good one. Name the only NBA team that never had a number 1 draft pick and never had a number 1 pick play for them.
Brooklyn Nets.
Nope.
The Knicks.
Nope, the Knicks had Patrick Ewing. I said never had a number 1 pick. Never.
Was he even Patrick Ewing? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Patrick Ewing. Yeah.
All right.
That's and number 1 draft pick and number 1 pick play for them. Because they never had a number 1 draft pick in their existence. This was a good one.
I'm telling you, I'm like, I was going through the teams. I'm like, no, definitely him.
All right. Can't say Houston because Houston had Hakeem Olajuwon. Guys, I'm going to give you guys the answer. And it's
this one.
the Indiana Pacers. They never had a number 1 draft pick ever in their organization.
Sure.
Interesting, right? All right, number 3, guys. I think I'm going to like the answer for this one. There's only one NFL team that's named after something that does not exist. What is that team?
Cowboys. Come on.
Come on, man. The answer's going to laugh. You're going to laugh at the answer. What is a...
Damn. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What is a Cleveland Brown?
What's the color? All right.
What's brown? Like
I just lost 10 brain cells on that one.
What's a brown?
But we're saying something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Brown exists though.
Brown. What's brown?
Shit is brown. Trees bark is brown.
But do you see shit on their logo?
Dirt is brown.
They don't have shit brown. That's the color. But what's brown? Actually, what is it like? What's brown? Because a dolphin is a dolphin, right? If you say Miami Dolphin, that's a dolphin. That's physical.
It makes sense because what's their mascot? Is the dog pound.
Yeah, because what's a dog pound to do with brown? What's Cleveland Brown? What's
Oh, so you meant to say they name of their team don't exist today?
Nothing. What does exist?
Oh, so they low
to compare to all the NFL teams. Only one NFL team that have a name that does not exist. What is a Cleveland Brown?
All right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What is it?
Yeah, okay. Now I get it. I was like, okay, got it. I was like, what?
What's your best picks?
Oh, the Knicks. If this when this game comes out, when this series comes out, the Knicks game should be playing. I expect Jalen Brunson to continue that hot streak, to go hot. There's a lot of riding on this game. I expect to come out game 1. It's hometown. Come out hot. 30 PRA. So, but right now, I think we are 2 of 6 right now. No, 3 of 6 because Ant-Man and Julius Randle the other game totally came through for me, and they won that series. Those boys were cooking. Don't want to take it for the same thing this time because.
So you only just got 1 pick?
Yeah, I know. This time you gotta say, once this stuff, I gotta start playing it safe. When you start going multiple picks, that's when it start to slip. That's when I go out. You don't feel me? That's so it's like.
They play every other day after. They still play every day. Once the series starts, they play every other day. Because I just want to know how many games we play by Tuesday.
Well, Let us know what you guys think.
Oh, the next time Tuesday we come through?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I think. How many
comment, subscribe, notification bells, because when we come back, like they were saying, we're going to be pretty much in the thick of things.
That's true.
So, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Guys, tell them where they can find you at.
Hype Man _V everywhere on social media.
The Black Obi-Wan on Twitter.
And find us at Up and Level Productions. Remember, stay safe, stay up, and always peace out. Yo, peace and blessings. Thank you for watching Up and Level. This is your boy Fabito. If you like this show, you like the Sports Edition, like, comment, subscribe, get involved. Peace.